Coming up on sports, Syracuse field hockey is in the Final Four of the ACC tournament. Snap a 3-game losing streak and send the seniors home with their final dome win of their careers. Nick, is this a triathlon? Because let's hit the water. Syracuse women's rowing, known as the Varsity 8, which sounds like a great TV series. Alex, coming up on sports, we're talking about March. Yes, we are. Was it Cinderella that ruined the day for yesterday's Sweet 16 matchups, or did Goliath down David? Find out on the other side. Welcome back and On the Bench. He's Nick Zelaya. I'm Cameron Ezeir, wishing everyone a happy start to the holiday season. Nick, that includes you. I don't know about you, but I know at the top of my list is sitting down with some nice hot cocoa and marshmallows. But I'm not done talking about the cream of the crop, because this time on the college lacrosse scene, because blue blood this, blue blood that. Duke is number 10 in the country, so with Syracuse men's lack sitting at 3-4 and 0-4 against ranked opponents this season, could the Orange lasso their way back in the win column? Samantha, this is a Loyola team that has a bad taste in their mouth from a year ago. Outscored 38-14 in 2 games against Syracuse, but right now the Greyhounds holding their own. Another team trying to not dip below 500 was number 9 Syracuse men's lacrosse, as the Orange road trip down to Charlottesville to face the second-ranked team in the country. Yeah, this schedule's no joke. Number 1 Maryland last week and now second-ranked Virginia. Well, the good news for Syracuse, they beat the defending national champs both times last year, so safe to say the Cuse has the Cavs numbers, right? Braden, you can play devil or angel. I think everyone in the CNY community is playing devil. You're playing angel, so I'm going to focus on the positives as well. Jacob Fopp, top 15 in the nation in face-off win percentage. What's gone into his success? Just as Boeheim and company finished a game under 500, SU men's lacrosse is in the same boat. But good news for the 4-5 Orange is that after a 16-goal loss to Notre Dame, Syracuse matches up with an unranked UAlbany team. And if the phrase history repeats itself is any barometer of what's to come, then the Cuse's 14-game win streak over unranked opponents is something to smile about. But this rivalry does have a first. The first time SU is playing the Great Danes in our state's capital, it was pouring rain 2.5 minutes in. The UAlbany Great Danes pouring in goals. A ripper from Graydon Hogg, UAlbany's leading scorer. That's his 13th of the season. Syracuse a minute later would respond. Jacob Buttermore low to low, first of his career. He finished with a hat trick, but the story, these two teams scoring in a multitude of ways. Jake Pacino 5 minutes in, that's a juice goal for the long pole, and UAlbany would take advantage off the assists, while Syracuse more of the DIY technique. Syracuse assists on under 50% of its goals. Tucker Dordovic would score there, but UAlbany, it was their second quarter to take, and they took it over 4-1, outscoring the Orange. Thomas Decker the goal, Jake Pucci the nice little dipsy-do. We head to the third quarter, halfway through the third. Look at this move from Thomas Decker. He would have a hat trick going high above Bobby Gavin's stick. It's 11-6 UAlbany. So where's Syracuse's remedy? It's Tucker Dordovic, their leading scorer. Vipers it into cage. That would kickstart a 4-0 run to end the third. Mikey Berkman with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. We transition to the fourth quarter. Syracuse down 11-10. Now it's 13-11. 4 minutes left. Hogg the miss, but hey, got cleanup on aisle 2. He would score, and UAlbany would hand Syracuse its 6th regular season loss, the first time that's happened since the Big East days in 2012. Usually when the Boeheim tandem of Buddy and Jimmy score combined 45 points, Syracuse wins, right? Well, then you're eliminating the defensive side of the ball, where the Orange allowed the Cavaliers to shoot 53% from the field and 63% in the second half, en route to a 74-69 loss. Well, Doug, from the eye test, you just see the off-ball movement of Cole Swider. He's getting back to what makes him so good, why he played 3 years at Villanova. It's spot-up shots. That's where he makes his money. Off the dribble, he's been a little too reliant on that, and that's where he kind of falls behind the 8 ball. Head coach Jim Boeheim said after the BC win, when Cole Swider can find his spots, he's lethal. And from a statistical standpoint, in 2022 against ACC opponents, Cole Swider was shooting 37% from the field, but during this 4-game win streak, 66% from the field and over 70% from 3-point range, and that's all thanks to him finding his way, finding his spots, and that's what's made him so good. Although Harshall's calling is the game of baseball, graduation in a few weeks marks an end to his club baseball career at SU. In fact, just last Tuesday, the team voted in a new vice president to assume Desai's position next season. So Harshall's baseball career is over at Syracuse. Moving forward, well, it's a lot like his career aspirations, up in the air. And by up in the air, I literally mean up in the air. So your team wins the Battle of the Berg tournament in early January. Of course, that's something to look at in this season. And all season long, you've been lauding the offensive prowess of this team, but really preaching defense as what's going to, be a tone setter for success moving forward. And one player to do that, Ariel DeSmet in net, winning tournament MVP at the Battle for the Berg. What has she done to not just, improve over time, but also continue her consistent play?
Well, you just said it. She's been really consistent, very consistent. We like all three of our goaltenders, but Ariel has been very consistent. So we'll look for her to, really set the tone for us in net tonight.
You mentioned that calming presence of DeSmet, along with that, the experience that she brings with Lauren Belafontaine, Jessica DiGirolamo, Shelby Kaloff, all of those names, they bring experience to this team. How important is that to have when you're going into the teeth of CHA play and with the CHA playoffs just around the corner?
Well, yeah, you can't put a price tag on experience for sure. And those girls you just mentioned, they've been a big part of our program since day one.
And although Mackenzie's passion is clearly hockey, a sport that's often watched through a screen, his love is creating on one. With that mentality, it's full steam ahead for Syracuse football into the offseason and then the season that follows in 2022, with plenty of question marks along the way. Job security of Dino Babers, which player will have a breakout season next year, and who will stay and who will go. But for now, reporting one last time from Ernie Davis Legends Field here in 2021, Cameron Ezeir, Citrus TV.